This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of At the Heart of Business. I'm your host, Judith Tate. At the Heart of Business is a conversation with women in business discussing their challenges and successes. My first guest today is Rosanna Pagliaro, founder of Rosavita.
Hi, Judith.
Hi, Rosanna.
Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for joining me. So,
My pleasure.
tell us all about Rosavita. It's a very unique business, and I'm really excited to hear about it.
Yeah, so Rosavita, first of all, the name is the two names of my grandmothers.
Okay.
My father's mom was Rosa. My mom's mom is Vita. Vita means life in Italian. And so I felt that it was fitting for me to pick their two names as the name of my company, since I work with elders and end-of-life patients. In terms of what I do, is that more of, so I work with elders, you know, and kind of help them through the last years prior to, you know, end of life, and sort of making sure that they have a good quality of life. Because, you know, as a society, we look at life as we are born and we celebrate birth, but we never talk about the end of life.
Yeah.
And when you become older, you really get into that space. And a lot of times you could be alone, you could be sick. And so I really focus on being with with elderly care, and just making sure that they're taken care and they feel like they're important.
Yeah.
As for end of life, which is the other part of my business, again, we don't talk about death. It's the number one fear in the world. But we do need to live in the now and appreciate life up until the last day, because we're all going there. It's part of life.
Yeah.
Birth and death are both part of life, and everything in between is what matters.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about my Rosavita.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll dive into a bit more about what your title is. So you're an end-of-life doula?
So I did a certification. I have 3 certifications, actually. So one is elder care, one is end of life, and the other one is care planning.
Oh, okay.
And so my title is a doula practitioner. And so what that entails is, again, dealing with the elders, dealing with end of life patients. And that doesn't necessarily have to be elders, because someone could be diagnosed tomorrow with a life-threatening or, 6 weeks left to live.
Yeah.
And so it's really about end of life. You don't have to be older. It happens to us, as we all know.
Yeah.
And then the last certification is in care planning, which is more about making sure that your wishes, like, does your family know? Do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to die at home, or do you want to die in a hospital? You know, so all those things, your last wishes. Do you have a power of attorney person? Does that person know that they're your power of attorney? So that's what the care planning part of it is.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I do in terms of my work. And it's very personalized.
Yeah.
So, I meet with the family or the person or the patient, the caregiver, whoever it is that is seeking my services, and then we put a plan together in terms of what services they need, where they're at, do they need support. So that's how it kind of works.
Yeah. Wow. That's, it's a very unique type of business and very much needed. And I would think there's probably some, well, maybe not challenges, but you probably work with a lot of people who are dealing with fear and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to face reality.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that?
So interesting enough is, and this is what happens. We're all worried to talk about death, but death is going to happen to all of us. So basically what we have to kind of encourage and empower and educate is to the fact that it's going to come. We all don't know when it's coming, but it is coming at some point. So instead of focusing on death and what happens and how it's going to happen and where you're going to go, how about we focus on where we are now?
Yeah.
And how do we make whatever time we have here on this earth the best that we can? So let's you know, now that's in a nutshell, obviously, but everybody's different, right? But the reality is we can really, you know, we can work on, let's talk about what you've done in your life.
Yeah.
Let's put together a legacy project and share for your family to have. And so that kind of brings you back through your whole life.
Yeah.
And sort of, you know, what have you done? Where did you go to school? What's one of the first things, you know, when did you learn to ride a bike? These are just, you know, questions that we could ask, but it's kind of really getting the person to go back into living as opposed to focusing on dying. You know, so that's one of the, you know, the tools that we have been taught.
Yeah.
But there's lots of different things. And again, it all depends on the person. Now, some people, depending on their faith, there's certain things that they believe. And so it's working with their belief system.
Yeah.
And kind of, you know, going back to that. And some people believe there's life after death. And that's when life actually starts. So it's kind of really just kind of, my thing is this. I always tell everybody, we have to meet people where they're at.
Yes.
So let's meet them where they're at, but let's also bring them back to the now.
Yeah.
And the moment we do that, I think we start looking at death as just something that's going to happen. Like tomorrow I could get up and I have a headache. I know that it's not the same, but you know what I mean, right? You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
But death is going to come. We all know that, but we just don't know when. So why are we worrying about that when we should really be concerned on how are we going to live whatever time we have left here, and how are we going to make it the best quality of life?
How would you get into this, or how did you? What's your reasoning for getting into this?
So this is really, for me, it goes back to my dad.
Yeah.
So basically, my father, so my dad was full of life. His favorite quote is La Vita Bella, which I use on everything, and I use it in all my social media, and I truly believe that. He loved living life. He had a really rough life, but he learned that life was beautiful and he had to make the best of it. And so he lived his life to the fullest. When he was 81 years old, my father suffered a stroke. My father used to go dancing with my mom every Saturday in their 80s. You know, they traveled, they got together with friends, they entertained. And so when he had his first stroke, his whole life changed. He had 2 more strokes after that. When he came home from the hospital, he was paralyzed, half his side. And they told us he was going to go in a home because there was no way we could take care of him, and it was never going to go back to normal. And I said to the people at the hospital, do you know my dad? You don't know my dad. And I was right, because my dad, he never went back to driving, but he had this passion for life. And so he recovered, he exercised, he, you know, learned to use a walker. And so, you know, I took care of him. I just helped him along the way. As his daughter, my father was my best friend.
Nice.
He was really a force in my life. And I just got involved with advocating for him. Now, you know, I came from Italy when I was 14, so English is my second language. And my father, whatever English he had learned in Canada, he had his own business, he forgot it all.
Oh, okay.
So he only went back to Italian. So I had to really advocate for him, and with doctors, with services, you know, just, and so that's, for me, I look back now and I think my dad gave me such a gift.
Yeah.
Because what I went through and experienced with my father for 4 years, and I was there until his last breath, taught me so much. And while I was grieving, I had this aha moment, and I realized the gift he gave me, and I realized that I finally found at 63 my purpose and my calling, and that I needed to share this in the world, educate myself, and help as many people as I could.
That's so beautiful. That's really nice. I love it. So
Thank you.
how do you help people? Like, do you do training sessions? Do you do or information sessions or one-on-one? Like, how? Tell us how you help.
So all of the above, but I'll tell you the ones that really have worked for me so far. So I hold a life cafe every month.
Oh.
So it's a lot of, in the world, they're known as Death Cafe. I didn't feel in Canada, and I'm going to be honest, you know, Death Cafe, I didn't really like that word.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
weird.
call it a life cafe.
Yeah.
So I hold a life cafe every month. It's free. It's in the community.
Good.
I hold space for 2 hours
Yeah.
once a month, and I want people in the community just to come out, share where you're at. Let's share space. We're going to hold space for you. You can come out. You can share what you're going through if you want to. You can ask questions or you can just listen.
Yeah.
And basically, we talk about life. We talk about aging parents. We talk about the sandwich generation.
Yeah.
We talk about people who are sick and what they're going through and, you know, being afraid of death.
Yeah.
And it's just really, I do a little bit of talking, but I let people who come talk. That's one way. The other way, I do workshops.
Yeah.
I also meet with family one-on-one, right? Again, if you're interested in hiring me as a doula, I come home, I ask a bunch of questions, we put a plan together, and then we work from there.
Yeah.
So those are three of the main ways that I kind of share my business and what I
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Wow. That's really good. I don't know anyone else doing what you're doing.
It's becoming very popular.
Is it?
Actually,
Wow.
there's a movement in the U.S. and Europe as well, but it's
Yeah.
really coming to Canada as well.
Oh, okay.
And so now we're starting to be recognized in Canada, and so our certifications are actually recognized. Whereas
Yeah.
before it was more like, oh, what does it mean? You're a doula. What do you do?
Yeah.
You know, but we do actually take courses, and we do actually do exams, and
Yeah.
we do
Oh, okay.
hands-on, and we have to have hours. So it's not just something that you say, oh, I decided to do this, I can now practice. You actually,
Yeah.
there's learning, and there's case studies, there's a bunch of stuff that you
Oh,
do in order to
good.
do this.
So you mentioned the sandwich years. So, you know, people who are taking care of their elderly parents and, you know, their family.
Yeah.
What type of, what words of advice do you have, or what type of resources are there for people? Because me now at my age, like, I'm finding there's a lot of people around me.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
so,
so-
you know, I'm a daughter to my mom who's now moved in with me.
Okay.
I'm also a mom to 3 adult daughters, and I'm a grandmother to 5 grandchildren.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel it. So my thing is always this. So when it comes to elders, for example, you kind of have to break it down, right?
Yeah.
Because we are in that generation, and we are going to have to deal. And so I look at it as today, what do I need to deal with today? So if my mom is where I'm at today, where like appointments, or, you know, I make sure that she has a PSW. The other thing is learning about the services that are available to us as well when it comes to seniors. There's a
Yeah.
lot available to us, but nobody teaches us, right?
Yeah.
Nobody shares that information. So you kind of have to learn. So again, that's something that I would focus on. Like, make sure that you have a PSW, a physiotherapist, that, you know, you find all the things that are available for your mom, whether it's for free or you want to hire a private, because you can do that too, right?
Yeah.
It depends on where you are. So that's one thing. And the other thing I also say is, you know, you wear different hats. But
Yeah.
don't we all really in
Yeah.
life, right? So today, like yesterday, I was a nonna. Yesterday, I was the grandmother babysitting my 2 grandchildren for the day. So that was my focus yesterday. So I made sure everything else was, you know, looked after. And
Yeah.
so you have to focus on the now. I always go back to that. You have to really deal with the day. Because if we start looking at, oh my gosh, I have aging parents, and I have my girls, and my girls need me, and I have a job, and I have a house, and I want to help with my grandkids, it becomes very overwhelming. So I always say, go back and break it down, and really focus on what it is you can do at the moment for that day.
Thank you so much, Rosanna. It was so nice to have you on the show.
My pleasure.
Yes, I'm so glad. This is a very important topic.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be up next with Rachel Hearn from SURF.
The Great Food Truck Race is back.
We made you some chicken skin nachos.
We're hitting the southern Atlantic coast with 9 teams.
$17 for French fries? Are you crazy?
Noodles!
Jalapenos!
Smash burgers!
WTF. What the funnel cake.
The Great Food Truck Race. See it on Food Network.
Do you like movies? You do? What a coincidence, because I host a show called Cinema Scene, which features movie reviews and interviews. It's the big screen on the small screen with Cinema Scene.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to At the Heart of Business. I'm your host, Judith Tate. At the Heart of Business is a conversation with women in business discussing their challenges and successes. My next guest today is Rachel Hearn, owner of Surf. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So thanks for being here. Tell us all about Surf.
So Surf is a Southern California-inspired restaurant, downtown Whitby. We specialize in craft cocktails, tacos, small plates. Surf, the name is more of a theme rather than just a name. So you're thinking beachside, tropical, palm trees.
Yeah.
So it's more of an oasis and an experience than just a name.
So how come, like, what is it with, the tropical theme? Like, did you work down south somewhere? You visit down south?
No, it was just... So it started with tacos.
Yeah.
It was originally just supposed to be a grab and go.
Okay.
And this was we were still in pandemic times. And then we went into another lockdown. And we kind of just were looking around to see what our next move was. The space that we're currently in, we found out they weren't renewing their lease, so we went and checked out the spot. The size is what we wanted, the location is what we wanted, and then it just escalated to a whole restaurant. So it wasn't even originally a restaurant, it was just like a little grab and go, but the tropical theme was just always what we wanted.
Yeah.
It's just very inviting, and when you're there, we want you to feel like you're down south.
Yeah.
And there's not many places that are like that. And so it's just you go, hang out with friends, have a good time, be surrounded by palm trees, and have a good time.
Yeah. No, I love it. Well, the first time someone mentioned it to me, hey, you want to go to Surf? I was like, no, I don't like seafood.
Yeah.
So do you get that confusion a lot?
We do sometimes, yeah.
Oh,
or some people think we're a surf shop.
Oh.
Either way, come on in.
I didn't think of
yeah,
that.
we've got surfboards, we've got it all. Yeah.
That's actually kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you been in the restaurant business for a while? Like, is this your
ever
background?
since my first job, since I was 16 years old. I love the industry. It's a very social industry.
Yeah.
And it's, you grow so many relationships, friends become family, and I've just always loved the industry.
Yeah.
It's hard to get out of the industry, a lot of people find.
Okay.
And
All
it's
right.
very nice.
So what, tell us what makes Surf unique.
One, our cocktails.
Yeah, okay.
We really try to strive on our cocktails, and there's nothing around us that is like us.
Yeah.
We don't have an extensive menu. It's like small plates, tacos, and the whole idea behind that was just to come. We want people to get a bunch of little things and share it all, and so you can try different things, and you don't have to just stick with one thing, and have some good cocktails, and just be in the ambiance and the oasis that we've created there.
Yeah, it's a very warm environment, especially in the winter. Because I think when I was there, it was in the winter.
Yeah,
and then you go in and you're surrounded by palm trees, and it's the colors are warm, and you actually do kind of feel like you're down south.
Perfect. That's what we want.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So, as far as the community goes, how important is a business like this in the community?
The community is huge, and that's one thing about downtown Whitby, where we are especially, is that everybody is willing to help each other out.
Yeah.
We grew very close to the people around us, and we still are, and Whitby is up and coming and trying to bring in more tourism, and especially the women in the area have their own businesses, whether it's retail or restaurants or whatever it is. Everybody's willing to help each other out and be there for you whenever you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like being a woman in the industry?
I feel like it's a more female-dominated industry.
Okay.
usually the higher up you get, I find it's not as much. And I've never been in the position where I've been a woman in charge. And it's the first time I've ever had people, you know, ask me like, oh, are you a server? Are you a bartender? Are you a manager? And that's their first like question to me.
Yeah.
And I've never been in that position where I'm like, no, I'm actually the owner.
Okay.
And so that was very eye-opening to me
Okay.
as a woman in business. But once they get through that, they're like, wow, like, congratulations, good for you.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that opened my eyes, being a businesswoman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that people just assume that you're like a server or?
Maybe because I'm actively on the floor. I'm not, you know, just talking to people. But I've never experienced that, so I really don't know why that is.
Okay.
But it's definitely a thing that is happening. But you know, my team front of house is all females. So a lot of people are like, oh, do you have any males that work here? We're like, yeah, they're in the back. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely female run from our end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many on your team total, like men and women?
There's probably about 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good amount.
Yeah.
What's that like, you know, being, you know, the owner of the restaurant, managing a team? What is that like?
I have been blessed with my team.
Good.
They are amazing humans.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have what I have.
Yeah.
And Surf wouldn't be the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly grateful for them. Because they're so good to me, you know, it kind of runs really smoothly, and I'm there to mentor them if they need it, but they're pretty self-sufficient at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, they make it so much easier.
Okay, so you've got a team, so you're
Yeah.
obviously a leader.
Yes.
How, like, what is it that you need to make sure you have the right people in place to run your business? Because your business, it's a reflection of you. So
Yeah.
you've got to make sure you have the right people on the team. How did you go about making sure you have the right people?
It's tough nowadays. My right hand for her name is Krista, and she actually was a customer. She was sitting at my bar on the second day we were open. My bartender at the time was talking to her, and her sister said to her, she's like, you know, you would really fit this vibe. And she's like, I would love to. So she had DM'd me, and from there, she's been with me, and she's great, and she's the reason that I don't have to be there every day. She's the reason that I can go away if I want to. And the same with back of house. My chef is my other hand, honestly. Like, he's also the reason that I can leave, and he handles the majority of the back end.
Yeah.
So that takes some off of me dealing with the front of house and everything behind scenes.
Yeah.
So having a strong team is so crucial, and I am so grateful that I have that.
Yeah.
And just finding those people isn't always easy. You go through people, but once you find them, you're golden.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you, because you said that you're actively on the floor.
Yes.
And you're running the restaurant, you're managing a team. How do you find that work-life balance?
The work-life balance is big for me. I'm the type of person where I know that if I have too much going on, I will shut down. So that work-life balance I established right away. I knew that, so we're open Tuesday to Saturday. I knew that at least one of the days that I'm off, I need to do what I need to do to refuel me, because if I'm not on my game, then everybody else will feel that, and you know, things just don't run as smoothly. So having one day off to do what, like, my errands, take care of me, sleep in if I need to, and recoup is definitely something that I established early on, because during the week I'm working and I'm on the floor, just like everybody else.
Okay, that's good. That's really, really important. So, okay, so you have two days off.
One's like doing everything I need to, one's relaxing.
Good.
For the most part.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, back to community. Do you do events at your restaurant? Because I know a lot of restaurants, you know, just to fill that I don't know, space or time or whatever, and other sources of income, they'll hold events. What about
We don't do events inside. We might in the future. We've done a couple for people who've asked, but we do some events like outside of that, in like the actual restaurant. With the town of Whitby or that kind of thing. Yeah, we have Whitby Music Fest coming up.
Nice.
That's next Thursday.
Okay.
So they'll have a DJ come in and set up and do their thing. And yeah, we've done a couple of those. But other than that, the restaurant just runs as a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone wanting to start a restaurant?
You got to have thick skin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you got to have thick skin. You got to, especially as a woman in business, a lot of people might find a strong woman intimidating or that kind of thing, but you just got to know who you are and just do what you have do. The industry is pretty cutthroat. It's, you know,
really?
Yeah, it's very physical. It's a very physical job.
Yeah.
You're always running. You're not sitting at a desk, so it's very physically, but it's also very social.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a strong social battery, you're tired at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But it's also a very rewarding industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're celebrating with people. It's like inviting people to your home.
Yeah.
And when you see people enjoying themselves and coming back, it's a really great feeling.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You mentioned like being a woman in charge. So have you ever had any challenges, like say with staff, or is that more in relation to other businesses or other restaurants?
Staff, no. Staff respects me.
Okay, good.
It's more so just other. I don't even know if it's other restaurants, just other people who.
Or maybe customers that come in?
Sometimes. The customers are the majority of that ask if, are you just a server or just a bartender? But, which I get, I'm on the floor, but no, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next for Surf?
Honestly, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing and bringing new things to the table. And people always ask us, so like, you have to open up a second location. We like our small, what we are. Maybe in the future, something else, not the same, maybe something different. But right now, we're just gonna keep expanding within what we are and bringing new things to the menu, new drinks, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah. What's your favorite item on the menu?
Drinks or food?
Oh, food-wise.
Food?
Yeah.
Our street corn is really good. I call it crack in a bowl. And tacos. Our chicken or fish taco are my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had the chicken tacos. They were really good.
Yeah.
What's
Do you
your
like
favorite?
spice? It's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like spice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite drink?
The blood orange margarita. I feel like that's everybody's favorite
Oh,
drink.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's what we're known for. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, words of advice for anyone wanting to get into entrepreneurship in general.
In general, you just have to be strong. You have to know who you are, know what values you have, and don't take no for an answer. If you are truly passionate about what you're doing, if you believe in yourself, then other people will believe in yourself, believe in you, and just do what you love, and it won't be work.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on another episode of At the Heart of Business.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Are you a passionate content creator ready to expand your audience reach? Do you have unique stories, captivating hobbies, or special interests that deserve a spotlight? Rogers TV is here to amplify your voice within the community. We offer you the platform to broadcast your content to a wider audience.